Welcome to the Superkick podcast for round 10. This week it is with mangoes. So we'll start off with the Superkick competition with Viatel taking on Sheep at Pie Park. Sheep had a loss last week and that was costly against the Vengeance, the bottom side, whereas Viatel struggling for form, second last. Looking at the teams, Hawkins needs to lift for the Sheep in order to get the win here, but injuries are seriously hampering to the Viatel with Pedlar and a few others, Draper as well, out. So my prediction is Sheep by 48 points. In the next matchup, it is the Vengeance versus the Quiche at the Surgery. The Vengeance had their second win for the year last week. Surprise win. They'd be buoyed by that. Whereas the Quiche have gone back to the top of the ladder with their win. This game will be decided on the first game of the round between the Cats and the Suns. If the Cats score heavily, the Vengeance will be a chance, but otherwise it's the Quiche all the way. I predict the Quiche by 22 points. In the third match of the round, it is the Scorpions versus the Stars. This match really requires the Stars to get back on the winners list. But they've got another injury with Cottrell out for a period of time, 3 weeks. Still Callum Brown unavailable due to suspension, and Mychek still out. Petrarca needs to have a big game against the West Coast at the end of the round in order to get the win, I think, here. But still, it's a matter of him reproducing his efforts from last week of 5 goals. Amazing. On the Scorpions side, it needs Max King to produce a good game. Whether he does or not is debatable, but it's a chance against Freo at Docklands. So here I predict Scorpions to win just by 3 points. So the next game is the Mangoes versus the Don is Good, who have come good with a number of wins on the trot. They've got Amadi and Rankin and Ben King in the first game. Definitely will take the lead early. Then I think expect the Mangoes to fight back, but I think that Don is Good will be too strong with the depth that they have, and they will get over the line by 10 points. In the final game of the round, it's the Goldfest versus Funky, who are flying despite losing the last round in a dogged match against the Mangoes. The head-to-head is quite sparse, but I think this will close this week with the Funky Bulls getting their 5th win against the Goldfest in history. They'll be too good. The game against Richmond, between Brisbane and Richmond, will be the deciding factor, most definitely, with all of Funky's Brisbane players. The only chance that the Goldfest has is if Green, Wright, Watson and Chol can produce multiple goal kickers. They need at least 13 to 14 goals between those players in order to win the match. My prediction is Funky by 35 points. In the BH Cup game, the final qualifier before the finals, it is the A-Track versus the Poatina Pirates. Having a look at the squads, I believe that the Poatina Pirates should win easily with Taylor Walker and Kyle Langford being too strong as their two key forwards. I predict that the Pirates will win by 28 points. Moving on to the SMS League now, and we have the Fortress taking on the Inform Asians this week. I doubt that the Asians will be able to reproduce the 21 goal performance they did last week, especially with the matchups. Despite Riccardi not really kicking many goals, with Waterman and Finlayson returning, I believe that the Fortress should get over the line in this game. I give them a margin of 15 points. In the next match, it's the top of the table, White Line Fever versus the Rocket Rod, with Rocket Rod coming off a win and White Line Fever qualifying for the BH Cup. This game will be reasonably close, but I think that the White Line Fever should get over the line with just a bit too much quality, with Ugelhagen, Amadi, Amiss, and Kerno, which should easily account really for the Rocket Rod at Fever pitch. The final score, I think, will be 120 to 92. In the next game, it's the Wobbly Kickers versus the Walsh Dogs. And here I think that the Wobbly Kickers are a big chance to get another win against the Walsh Dogs, especially with the Walsh Dogs having a few injuries. But the key here is that Eric Hipwood has to perform against Richmond and kick a big bag, probably 5 or 6. Final selection for this game will be interesting, but with the Walsh Dogs having a full squad, despite some injuries, should get just over the line by 2 points. In the next match of the round, it's the Rubber Gloves taking on the Free Smoke. In this game, I think that the Free Smoke should get out to a big lead early on, with the Cats playing the Suns, and then the Rubber Gloves to chase them down. But with Cottrell out, the specialist at Marvel, even though they're playing in Sydney, it hurts a lot with the final game and maybe the deciding factor with Darling, but they are playing Melbourne, so it's likely that he will struggle. I think Free Smoke should win this by 15 points. In the final match of the round, it's the Minted Mick taking on the Pokey Bombs at the Tin, with I think the Pokey Bombs going to win this quite comfortably. The Minted needs to shore up his defence in the first game. If he's able to do that, then it will be a tight contest, but I doubt it very much. With Heaney and Logan McDonald also firing, but it's King and Stengel that are the concern. I think that the Pokey Bombs should win this comfortably by 35 points.